The banging continued, louder, fiercer. Monica's heart raced. She tried to hide. Anywhere, just anywhere to feel safe. It was her mother. Her voice, filled with rage. Her fists, pounding the wooden door like thunder. Monica, trembling, fled through the curtain. She rushed to the bedroom, crawling onto the bed like a frightened child. Tears streaming down her face. She didn't know what else to do. Joy, confused and scared, she moved by the door, then at Monica. Her little mind spinning, what should she do? But the pounding didn't stop. It only grew wilder, like a storm waiting to break the whole house down. Suddenly, Joy moved. With shaking hands, she grabbed the small table, dragging it to the door, her tiny arms struggling under its weight. She pushed it hard, then took 2 jerrycans with water, stacking them against the door, trying to block Monica's mother from entering. Exhausted and scared, Joy slowly sank to the ground beside the door, her body trembling, her heart pounding like a drum. She stayed quiet, listening. The pounding had stopped. Cautiously, she leaned forward and gently peeped through a tiny crack in the door. Her eyes searched. Was Monica's mom still there? The silence outside was heavy, but fear still wrapped around Joy like a cold blanket. She didn't know if it was over, or if the storm was just waiting to return. Joy stayed there for a while, silent, holding her breath. Inside the room, Monica listened too. The banging had stopped. The angry voice was gone. Slowly, carefully, she peeked through the curtain, her eyes swollen with tears, her head wrapped in a faded wrapper, barely covering her pain. Tears rolled down her cheeks as she looked toward the door. No more shouting, no more pounding, just a quiet that still felt heavy, too heavy to trust. She and Joy locked eyes, both scared, both tired, but holding on to each other in the silence that followed the storm. Silence, not a word, not a sound. The door remained locked, but their hearts, still racing. Joy leaned against the table, watching, waiting. Monica behind the curtain, her eyes full of fear. The silence outside felt strange, too sudden, too still. Was it over? Or was this just a trick? Another game her mother was playing? Neither of them knew. Because sometimes silence was just the beginning of something worse. So they waited, in fear, in silence, hoping the storm had truly passed. After a while, Monica stepped out from behind the curtain, her eyes swollen with tears. Her steps were slow, shaky. She looked at Joy, who was still by the door, and they both felt it. Her mom was gone. The silence outside was real this time. Monica dropped beside Joy, overwhelmed, tears pouring down. Joy moved closer, gently wrapping her arms around her. They said nothing, but in that quiet moment, they knew they had each other. At least for now, it was safe. They wiped each other's tears, trying to be strong. Slowly, they walked to the chair, sitting side by side, consoling each other. The table was still pushed against the door, jerrycans stacked in place, just in case. Their eyes were tired, their hearts heavy. But in that small moment, they found a little peace. No words, just quiet. 2 girls holding on, to hope, to each other. They sat down quietly, the fear still fresh in their hearts. Joy reached out and gently wiped Monica's tears. No words were spoken, just a silent understanding between them. After a moment, they both stood and walked toward the door. Cautiously, they began to move the table and jerrycans, slowly unblocking the entrance, unsure if it was truly safe. Joy slowly stepped outside, her heart beating fast. Every step felt heavy, but she had to be sure. She looked around carefully, peeping from corner to corner, her eyes scanning every space, every shadow. Was Monica's mom really gone? The corridors were quiet, almost too quiet. She stood still for a moment, listening, watching. No sign of danger. Still, she didn't feel fully safe. But for now, it seemed the storm had passed. At least, that's what she hoped. Joy came back into the house, a look of relief on her face. "She's gone," she said gently to Monica. Monica let out a quiet breath, finally feeling a bit of calm. Joy smiled and sat beside her. "Should I plait your hair while we wait for my mom? I have some hair extensions which I'm not using Mom got me," she asked softly. Monica nodded. It was something to ease the moment, to pass the time, to forget the fear, if only for a little while. Joy had a gift, and her hand could bring comfort to Moni. Joy plaited Monica's hair, her gentle fingers moving with care. For a moment they forgot the fear, forgot the pain. They laughed quietly, sharing stories, memories from school, silly jokes from the past. The room, once filled with fear, now held a small spark of peace. Monica smiled, truly smiled, and in that brief moment they were just two girls again, young, hopeful, and holding on to joy in the middle of their broken world. As Joy finished the final touches, Monica asked softly, "Don't you think my mom's going to be mad about my hair? She could even cut it." Her voice trembled with worry. Joy paused, then gently held Monica's shoulders. "Forget about her for a moment," she said with a small smile. "What matters right now is that you look beautiful." Monica smiled faintly. For once, she felt seen, and worthy of something good, even if just for a moment. "But honestly, you don't know my mom. She could cut and shave my hair." Her voice cracked with fear. Joy chuckled gently, brushing a strand from Monica's face. "She won't do it. Trust me," she said. "How can someone mess up such a beautiful look?" Monica blushed. Then Joy pulled her into a warm hug. They both smiled, genuine, quiet smiles. In that moment, fear took a step back, and friendship held them tight. After a moment, they both knew what had to be done. They had to go see Monica's mom, to beg her, to try and calm the storm before it returned. Joy walked to the door and gently pulled down the red curtain, then closed the door behind them. Monica followed, her heart heavy but hopeful. Together, they stepped outside, not knowing what waited ahead, but choosing courage over fear. Because sometimes even hope needs a push. They walked through the narrow corridors. The ground was still muddy from the rain that fell the night before, thick puddles clinging to their slippers. But above them, the sun had finally come out. It wasn't much, but it warmed their skin and lit their path. Monica walked behind Joy, her fingers clenched in quiet fear. Yet something about the sunlight made it feel like maybe, just maybe, things could get better. One step at a time, they moved forward. Finally, they reached the main path. It was still a long walk to Monica's house, but they kept going. Around them, life was moving as usual. People were out, some selling goods, others hurrying by with tired faces. The muddy ground still clung to their feet, but the sun above gave them a little hope. People, noise, and the familiar sounds of the area. Monica walked close to Joy, quiet but determined. They had to face what was ahead. They were almost at Monica's house. As they got closer, her steps slowed. A quiet sadness settled in, memories of anger and pain creeping back. She didn't cry, but it showed on her face. Joy noticed but said nothing. They kept walking in silence. Joy was equally scared. She knew Monica's mom and what she was capable of. As they reached the iron sheet gate, Joy stepped forward and peeked through a small gap. Monica had stopped a few steps behind, peeping from a distance, her heart pounding. Joy looked, then stepped back. Monica moved forward, then paused again. They went back and forth, unsure, afraid of what waited on the other side. The silence behind the gate only made their fear grow stronger, that they had come this far. Joy stepped forward again, her hands trembling slightly as she touches the gate. She peeped through once more, her eyes scanning the compound carefully. Monica stayed behind, still frozen a few steps away, her heart heavy with fear. Joy didn't see anyone, but the silence made her nervous. She turned slightly, looking back at Monica, who stood still, unsure whether to move or run. The moment was tense, quiet, like standing on the edge of something unknown. Joy took a deep breath and stepped closer to the gate. Her hand rested on the edge as she whispered to herself, "What's the worst that can happen?" Slowly, she pushed the gate halfway open, its rusty hinges creaking softly. She peeped through the gap, eyes everywhere. The yard looked still, too still. Her heart raced, but she stood firm. Behind her, Monica waited quietly, filled with dread. Joy knew the risk, but she also knew sometimes fear must be faced head-on. Finally, Joy gave Monica a small sign, a gentle nod that it was safe to come in. Slowly, they both slipped through the gate, tiptoeing quietly as if the ground itself could wake a storm. Monica followed behind, her steps hesitant, her heart pounding. Fear still held her back, but Joy kept going. She knew it wouldn't be easy, but she also knew she had to speak up for her friend. If begging would bring peace, she was ready. Because sometimes, courage means standing for someone you love. Joy stood at Monica's door, hand raised but unsure. Should I knock or go back? She looked back at Monica, then whispered, "Help me, Jesus." Her heart pounded, but she knew she had come too far to turn back. Taking a breath, she prepared to knock. Joy knocked once, twice, 3 times. The sound echoed in the tense silence. Then suddenly, the door flew open. There she was, Mama Monica, eyes blazing with fury. Joy froze. Her mouth went dry. Before she could speak, Mama Monica snapped, "Do you want to break my door? What are you doing here?" Her voice was sharp, filled with anger. Joy stood still, heart racing, words stuck in her throat. She had prepared for this moment, but nothing prepared her for the storm standing in that doorway. Monica is now completely frozen near the gate, fear gripping her like never before. Joy was scared too, but more for Monica than herself. Then Mama Monica's voice cut through the air like a knife. "Monica, come here, you fool. I knew you'd come. You can't live without me, you lazy, stupid girl." Her words burned deep. She turned to Joy with a glare. "You and your friend useless." Monica's eyes filled with silent pain. Joy clenched her fists, holding back tears. The storm had begun. Monica slowly moved closer, then hid behind Joy, her small frame trembling. Mama Monica's voice grew louder, sharper, hurling words like stones. Monica didn't speak, she just clung to Joy's back, her eyes wide with fear. She knew what was coming. Any moment now. Joy quickly dropped to her knees before Mama Monica. "Please, Mama, we were wrong. Forgive us," she pleaded, her voice trembling. She knew they had no strength to fight, only to beg. Mama Monica folded her arms, a cruel smile forming. She felt in control now. "So why did you come back, huh?" she snapped. "You should have stayed gone for good." Her words stung, but Joy kept her head bowed, praying that humility would soften the heart of a woman hardened by anger. Mama Monica grabbed Monica's freshly plaited hair, yanking hard. "Who gave you money for this? Feeling like a big girl now," she snapped. "I can cut it all off." Monica, scared, pointed at Joy. "She did it. I didn't use any money. I didn't have any." Her voice shaking. "I'm in a good mood today," Mama Monica said. "I'll forgive, but here is your punishment." Mama Monica turned sharply and barked, "Follow me." Monica obeyed quietly. Inside the house, Mama Monica pointed one by one. "First these jerrycans, I want every single one filled with water. No excuses." She moved to a small kitchen area. "Then, wash all these dirty dishes. I want them spotless." Finally, she pointed to a pile of clothes thrown behind the door. "And after that, clean all these clothes. Don't waste my time." Monica nodded slowly. The weight was back. Monica didn't say a word. She quickly grabbed the first jerrycan and began moving. She knew better than to delay. Outside, Joy was still waiting, watching with worry. Seeing the struggle, she stepped forward. "Let me help," she said softly. 8 jerrycans aren't easy for one person. Monica looked at her grateful. Without another word, they both started going, carrying their jerrycans. It was heavy work, but at least she wasn't doing it alone. Her mother, still fuming, pointed sharply behind them. "She thinks I'm her age mate," she barked. "Waste one more minute and you'll see." Her voice echoed with fury as Monica and Joy hurried off, not daring to look back. The water point is about 300 meters away, but Monica and Joy walked fast, almost storming down the path. They moved with urgency, their jerrycans swinging lightly in their hands. The rush in their steps made the distance feel shorter than it was. They didn't even notice how far they'd come. All that mattered was getting it done quickly, before Mama Monica had another outburst. The faster they moved, the safer it felt. At least for now, they had each other. They reached the water point and quickly filled the jerrycans, laughing and telling stories as they worked. For a moment, it felt like things were normal. Once done, they headed back home, each carrying what they could. The weight was heavy, so they rested along the way, placing the jerrycans down and catching their breath. Still, they chatted between pauses, using the stories to distract themselves from the stress waiting at home. Then, smiling faintly, they picked up the load and kept moving. The path was busy, full of people passing by, yet no one noticed the 2 14-year-olds carrying 20-liter jerrycans. Monica and Joy talked and laughed between rests, but the weight was real. Poor girls," Joy muttered as they kept walking. They finally reached home, their bodies aching from the long walk. Joy dropped her jerrycan by the door, wiping sweat from her forehead. Monica, still tired, picked hers up and carried it inside, placing it carefully where the jerrycans were kept. Without a word, she came back and took Joy's too, arranging it beside the rest. They knew the work wasn't done. Monica grabbed more empty jerrycans and together they headed out again. Tired but determined. This was their reality for now. After the last trip, they didn't rest. Monica and Joy quickly began washing the pile of dirty clothes. Laughter still slipped through their tired voices as they scrubbed, trying to make the moment lighter. One by one, the clean clothes were rinsed and wrung out. Now, they moved around the compound, carefully hanging each piece on the lines. Shirts, dresses, skirts dancing gently in the breeze. The work was hard, but they kept going, side by side. Mama Monica, on the other hand, is complaining by the door and watching them. "If I see any spot on those clothes, you won't believe what I'll do to you," threatening Mama Moni. They're now hanging the last lot of clothes. Tired and hungry, their bodies ache from the long morning. But they know no one else will help. It's up to them to finish the work. Go buy food, bring it back, and eat. There's no rest, no break, just survival. Each task is heavy, but they push through it together. Because hunger doesn't wait, and comfort is a luxury they can't afford. This is their daily reality, enduring, hoping, surviving one moment at a time. The mother sat by the door, eyes sharp, grumbling about their slowness. "Useless," she spat at Monica. "Crawling like a sick snail, what kind of girl are you?" Monica said nothing, just continued with her work, swallowing the pain like always. They finished washing, and Joy now was leaving. "I need to go now," she said. "I know you can finish the rest." Mom might have come and started wondering where I am, Joy thought. They smiled at each other and waved goodbye. She saw Joy off through the gate and came back inside. She continued winding up, putting in place the buckets. Suddenly, the door creaked open. Her mother stepped out, holding Monica's younger sibling in her arms. "I'm going out to get something," she barked coldly. "Make sure there's no mistake when I come back." It wasn't a request. It was a warning. Monica looked up, her heart quietly sinking. She nodded gently, without saying a word. She went ahead and closed the gate behind her mum. Now she is all alone in this compound, tired but trying to beat time. At the back of her mind, there is a fresh reminder that she shouldn't make any mistakes when Mom comes back. Things must be perfect. For a moment, she thought to herself, "Let me just sit down for a few seconds, now that Mom is out." She slowly lowered herself onto the veranda, her body weak, her spirit even weaker. Tired, starving, her stomach ached, but her heart ached even more. She stared blankly into the distance, lost deep in thought. Thoughts number 14-year-old should ever have. Just a few seconds of peace, before the chaos returned. She stood up from the veranda and walked into the house, weak and starving. Her body ached, but she went straight to the bed, pulled off the duvet, and began spreading the sheet. Even that felt heavy. Every move hurt, but she kept going. Not out of strength, but survival. Suddenly, her mother's boyfriend walks in through the gate, a backpack slung over his shoulder, heading straight for the house. Without knocking, he steps inside. There, he finds Monica kneeling on the bed, quietly spreading the sheets, completely unaware of his presence. He pauses silently at the door, his eyes fixated on her. A dark, unsettling look spreads across his face as he stares at her with lust. Monica, still facing the wall, hasn't seen him yet. She stepped down from the bed, and to her astonishment, found someone standing right beside her. Monica froze, startled and confused. Her heart raced. When did he get in? And why is he staring at me like that? Fear gripped her. The man didn't say a word at first. He just sat down on the bed slowly, his eyes still fixed on her. Then, in a low voice, he said, "Go and bring me water." Monica reached for a cup, her hands trembling ever so slightly, and walked past him, his eyes following her with a hunger that made her skin crawl. She kept her gaze fixed ahead, pretending not to notice, pretending not to feel the weight of his stare. He kept staring at Monica, his gaze heavy and unsettling. She tried to ignore it, clutching the duvet draped over the chair. She folded it, pretending not to notice. When she placed it carefully on the bed, she could still feel his eyes on her, the air around her growing colder with each passing second. He sipped water slowly, watching her, his silence more disturbing than words. Just as Monica turned to step away, she felt it. A sudden, shameless violation. She froze. "Jesus!" Astounded Monica. "Let me go!" "Stop it. What are you doing? Leave me alone," Monica cried, her voice breaking as the man gripped her wrists and dragged her toward him. She struggled, weak with hunger, but refused to give in. Her legs shook, arms trembling, but still she fought. Tears streamed down her face. "Please, stop," she begged, breathless. But he didn't care. His voice calm, almost mocking. "Relax, I'll treat you well." Her strength was fading, but her will wasn't. "Leave me alone. You are hurting me. Please, I beg you. Relax. I won't hurt you says the shameless man. "Please let me go," begs Monica. "Please stop. Please." What happens next?